And welcome to the very first episode of Shuffle and Repeat, the podcast. My name is DJ Sir Daniel. Thank you for tuning in. Listen, I'm going to warn you right now. I'm going to apologize and say sorry, but this will not be a pop culture recap show. It's not going to be Seeking Richard Simmons or anything like that. I can't promise you anything that riveting, but what I will bring to you is a dope show. I'm a DJ, I'm an event creator, and most importantly, I'm super nosy. I will give you that disclaimer. I am very nosy, and I'm very curious about people, and certain people fascinate me, and this show will allow me to get all up in their business. But ultimately, the show is going to let me honor them, and honor their craft, honor their journey, etc. So before we get started, I just want to ask you guys, like this morning, it dawned on me. I was getting ready for work and I was going through my sock drawer, and am I crazy? I have a drawer full of socks that I don't wear. Like I have my first string players that are constantly in rotation, but then there's like dozens that I don't even wear anymore, and I have yet to throw them away. Is that like the first sign of hoarding or something? Can somebody, I don't know. If you know, email me, Shuffle and Repeat the podcast. No, Shuffle and Repeat podcast at gmail.com. Let me know. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is my old man showing. I don't know. But anyway, like I said, this show is going to be just me talking to very fascinating people, and actually the very first guest of the Shuffle and Repeat podcast is a gentleman that I became aware of actually about a year ago when I was introduced to his really just a dope ass day party. He's part of the Edgewood Avenue music scene here in Atlanta, which is a very popular scene, and we're going to talk to him a little bit about that more as we delve into the show. And my first guest is Mr. Hot Hands himself, because if you ever see his videos on Facebook, like son is like his beat matching and his catching game is like crazy, and I'm trying to catch up, and maybe he can throw me a couple pointers and whatnot when we, you can share the secret. I feel like Ralph Macchio and he's Mr. Miyagi. So we'll get into that. We'll definitely get into that. But stay tuned. It's the Shuffle and Repeat podcast. I'm DJ Sir Daniel. Coming up will be DJ Deliver. It's the Shuffle and Repeat, the podcast. Hello, advertisers. It's DJ Sir Daniel. Thank you for listening to my show. Don't you love my voice? Well, it can be yours for an on-air spot just like this one. Email me at shuffleandrepeatpodcast@gmail.com. That's shuffleandrepeatpodcast@gmail.com for details on how you can get your own custom-made cotton candy sweet as gold live commercial spot. Let's get this money. Thank you so much for that. That was a shameless ploy to get people to advertise on this show, but hey, that's okay. I'm all right with that. This is not a one-man show. It's a two-man show. So shout out to Johnny Ray Cornegay III, who is our engineer and producer of the podcast. So shout out to him. And again, like I said in the beginning, this show is going to be my way of just being nosy and just asking people, what makes them tick, and see what gives them their flavor and whatnot. So again, I'm not going to prolong. My first guest, again, I said, is a well-known DJ here in the Atlanta area. He keeps Edgewood Avenue hot. Every Saturday, his day party, Move is the Move at the Mother Bar. And so, I want to give a shout out and a welcome to DJ Deliver.
Yo.
What's going on, sir? How you doing?
What's up, bro?
Listen, I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm glad to be here chopping it up with you. And let's just get into it. Tell me your superhero origin story. Like, where did you come from? How did you get to Atlanta?
All right, man. First of all, thanks for having me, bro.
Absolutely.
I'm honored to be a part of the first. The
first of many. Let's say that too.
Yes. People can go back into the archives and get this one like 10 years from now.
Yep.
Like, this will be a classic, a gem.
This will be taught in schools. I'm claiming it now. This will be taught in universities.
Yes. Congrats too, man. I wish you all the best with this.
Appreciate it.
So
yeah, where are you from originally?
I am from a small little state called Connecticut.
Which
Connecticut.
sits
right next door to New York and Rhode Island, and right under Massachusetts. Mm-hmm. Across the water from Long Island.
Wow. so that would account for the up top flavor.
Yeah. And
people try to they try to shit on Connecticut a little bit.
Yeah,
it's not hip hop wise. Is there anybody we can?
We had let me see. We had a couple people in hip hop. We had in the 80s these guys named the Skinny Boys from Bridgeport.
Skinny Boys, and wasn't Eddie Murphy's brother in one of the Skinny Boys? Yeah.
Nah, I don't think that was the crew. Eddie Murphy's brother was in this crew called K9 Posse.
K9 Posse. Yeah. I'm getting them mixed up. You're right.
You remember them?
Yes.
I think they were from Jersey, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Philly or Jersey, I don't know. But I lost track of what I was saying. But yeah, I grew up in Connecticut, small state. Mm-hmm. You know, we were influenced by New York culture, of course.
Right.
And that's pretty much it, you know.
So growing up there, did you get bleeds of like Red Alert and Mr. Magic and WBLS? Were you able to pick up those frequencies in Connecticut?
Yes. Let me tell you, bro, and I'm gonna show my age.
We both showing our age, so it's all right.
I don't even care, man. All right, to pick up those stations, 98.7 Kiss with Red Alert. With Red Alert, Chuck Chill Out.
Yes.
Latin Rascals, Wendy Williams used to like host Red Show.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes back, it's deep. And then we used to listen to Marley Marl
on BLS
with Mr. Magic.
Mr. Magic.
Yeah.
Magic, super.
To get these stations from my box or my receiver or whatever I was recording on, we either used to have to use aluminum foil sometimes for the box.
The rabbit ears. The rabbit ears.
And then, this is the trippy part. When we finally got cable TV, and again, I'm showing my age. I grew up in the projects that didn't have cable TV for a long time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? When we finally got it, we were able to take the cable wire, hook it up to the back of the receiver, and it will pick up like the New York stations crystal clear. I don't know what that was about. But it worked.
That was divine. You were supposed to get that.
That's right. I have the tapes to prove it.
Yes. the stop and play tapes.
I have all of the tapes. I have the tapes before I got cable, when it was like a real distorted signal type. And then I have tapes with the cable wire connected and crystal clear signal.
Wow. So
it's trippy, man. I can't explain it.
So growing up in Connecticut, and you found your DJ powers. How did you get the name Deliver?
All right. Deliver actually was born here in Atlanta.
Okay.
In 2008.
Okay.
So I have a long backstory, man. I've reinvented myself like 3 or 4 times over. But I've arrived at this DJ Deliver guy who's only he's still young, man. He's only what?
So
2008.
Yeah,
he's only 9 years old, man.
Wow.
I'm still young out here, man. I'm an adolescent out here, man.
And was 2008 when you arrived in Atlanta?
I arrived here in 2005.
Okay.
Long story, like I said, backstory. If you got time, I'll run through some of it. But let's just say let's start at 2005 when I got here. I wasn't DJing. I had just come from Connecticut. I was working a regular 9 to 5. And I had been DJing and doing a lot of music stuff for a long time prior to that, over the years. And I was kind of like done with it. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm done with it. I'm just going to work my job, So my wife was like, listen, I'm having this 30th birthday party or whatever it was, and I want you to DJ. I didn't have any equipment to DJ, so I had to go and buy some stuff. So I went out and bought, some equipment to DJ, bought speakers, turntables, and I was like, all right, I have this stuff. Now what am I going to do with it?
Right.
So she's like, you should hit the scene and like see what's good out here. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of done with the club scene. I'm kind of done with, just music. I just want to just be regular now. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And she was like, nah, let's do it. You should do it. And she, mentioned her and I starting a party together and like promoting a party and curating it. And I was like, all right, I'm with it. That's cool. Let's do it. So she went out and found this spot. And the spot happened to be a spot called Cincy that used to be in East Atlanta Village on Glenwood. And the guys that used to own it were real cool dudes. She made the connection, came back home and was like, yo, I met these cool dudes at this cool bar named Cincy. And they're, down to let us do a party or whatever. So she had a old school party in mind. She wanted to do like a 90s type of party.
Okay.
So we came up with the name, which was Retro Love Experience, and started doing parties at Cincy. That's pretty much how I started to meet everybody on the Atlanta scene.
Gotcha.
They used to come through Cincy for either my party or whatever other party that was going on there. There were other promoters. My dude, Senior Chaos, was doing a party there. These kids used to do a dubstep party there. They used to do like spoken word, like everything was going on at Cincy at any given night, so you could see anybody there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I started meeting all of the who's who in the scene of Atlanta, all the creatives coming through there, blah blah blah. And that's how I started to develop relationships, and people were really digging my style on how I was doing the parties. And I remember I had for the first Retro Love, I had met DJ Princess Cut, who's like a staple dope DJ out here in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. I met her at a boutique DJing, and I was like, yo, I want you to DJ my first Retro Love party. And I want you upstairs, because they had 2 levels at Cincy. I was like, I want you upstairs because I want your face to be the first face people see when they walk in that door.
Right.
Instead of my ugly face. So I was down in the basement while she was upstairs rocking. And, we had 2 levels of music going on. So that was my introduction into the Atlanta scene.
Wow.
Back in 2008.
And so that baptism, was it baptism by fire? Like, were you welcomed with open arms, or because you hear stories about people being cliquish nowadays and whatnot?
You know what? And you're absolutely right. And especially in Atlanta could go either way. You could run into that type of situation where it's kind of like a little resistance because it's so clicked up.
Right.
But a well-respected DJ in Atlanta said to me one night, because I was like, I said to him, I was like, yo, I just want to thank you guys for like welcoming me with open arms when I came to the city. Mm-hmm. And he was like, no, we didn't just welcome you. He said, we welcomed you because you were dope. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, I was like, thank you.
So that has a lot to do with
so it wasn't like, I just came here, started doing parties, and everybody was like, all right, yeah, we're rocking with this dude. Yeah. I guess I had to prove myself, you know what I mean? And I guess in his eyes and the people on the scene's eyes, I did, which I was very, humbled by that.
So the lesson here, kids, is that the cosign doesn't come automatically just because you show up.
Right.
You got to put in work, and you got to be fly with it too. And so when we come back after this break, I guess I want to... a dilemma that I face all the time. It's not really a dilemma, but when I'm getting ready to do a set or a party or whatever, I just have this one burning question in my mind. And what that question is, I'll let you know when we get back after this break. But come back for more Shuffle and Repeat, the podcast. I'm DJ Sir Daniel. My special guest is DJ Deliver. You don't want to miss this. This is DJ Sir Daniel. Thank you so much for listening to Shuffle and Repeat, the podcast. And right now I want to talk to my business owners. You, the advertiser. This spot could be your very own custom-made commercial spot. Let's talk about it. Email me at shuffleandrepeatpodcast@gmail.com. That's shuffleandrepeatpodcast@gmail.com. You can get your very own custom-made commercial on-air spot read live by me, DJ Sir Daniel. So let's talk about it. Now let's get back to the show. are back. I know you've been sitting next to your laptop, phone, whatever you're listening on with bated breath, trying to figure out what is this question that I'm going to ask. Well, wait no more. Simply DJ Deliver. How do you choose what song you're going to open up your set with? Because that's the main thing. I'll be sitting there like, oh, how am I going to hit? Okay, now if I go here, then I can go there with the kids, and I'm going to take them up, and then I'm going to cool them out. How do you make that decision? Because people don't understand. We rack our brains trying to figure out how it is we are going to please you.
Yo, I like that question, man. That is the best question you could ask, because that is the burning question that burns me at every event that I play.
So it's just not me.
No, it's not you.
Okay, cool.
Like if you may not notice, but anytime I have to play after somebody, that's kind of like oh my God, what am I going to play?
Yeah.
What am I going to play? And I'm like, all right, well, he just finished playing a bunch of reggae or, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't want to go that route or whatever the genre may be. I try to go left from whatever the, last DJ might have played. Or if I'm the first DJ, that's even worse, because you're like, I really don't know what to play.
You really have to set the tone.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's looking at the room.
Okay.
And just looking at the demographic, looking at, who's in there. If it's a bunch of dudes, and I'm like, all right. If it's a bunch of dudes, couple girls, I'm like, okay, maybe I might want to go a little harder on the music. You know what I mean? Maybe something a little more hip hop. I don't know. Bunch of girls. Now I'm thinking, okay, we're going to soften it up a little bit, a little R&B maybe. Yeah, but, even sometimes when you do that, you could be wrong. It could be a miss, because sometimes the girls want to go just as hard as the guys. It's like, all right, I thought I was doing something here. Yo, you want to hear the hard shit. Can we curse on here? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. All right. Fine. This is, you got to be grown to listen to the show.
So to answer your question, bro, I do not know, man. It's just kind of like one of those things where you just it's like a dice roll sometimes.
Yeah,
you're like, but then you could say, you can take the easy way out and say, all right, let me hit them with a Shore anthem or, something they're familiar with, just to kind of open them up. Because
the radio joints.
Yeah, maybe a radio, or even if it's not a radio, take a record take anything from Jay-Z, like a PSA, allow me to reintroduce myself. You know what I mean? You know that's going to get people up, or jig up,
something to get the heads nodding.
Yeah, big openers, introductions like that kind of never fail. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, people are like, oh, he's coming in like that. He's getting ready to go in. He's getting ready to shut shit down.
So your answer kind of leads me into the next question about what is your DJ philosophy? Because to me, I think DJs, we all, for all intents and purposes, we have a ministry, right?
Yep.
Each of us has something that within us that we want to convey to the people, whether it's because I'll speak for myself. Like, I'll take in what's going on nationally and right here in my backyard, socially, politically, whatever, and I see, so this is what we're dealing with on a global level and a local level. All right, and these people are coming to party, they want to let their hair down, and so I take my cues from that. And how am I going to basically heal the crowd and get them moving? So, what's your philosophy on moving crowds? On when you step behind those turntables, what is your what is in your head when you're coming to do this? Because it's not just about a job and getting paid afterwards.
Right.
You're not doing this long for this amount of money, because it's guess what, kids, it's not a whole lot of money when you
nope.
So we really actually love doing this. So what's your philosophy?
My philosophy, I would have to say, is simply to create a soundtrack for those people that came to party.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's a deep question, man. But like I said, I just want to create a soundtrack. I want to bring energy, especially if it's a party set. You know what I mean? If it's just some loungy, cooling, just playing records, that's a different story. But when they bring me in, and they being the promoter, or if I'm curating my own party, I'm being brought in there to bring a certain kind of energy, and a certain type of energy that I guess if you're a promoter that is bringing me in because you've seen me do what I do, you want me to deliver. You want me to deliver.
Right. Exactly.
And I kind of have this philosophy to bring high energy. So I'm not going to play 2 high energy records and then drop something that'll send you off the dance floor. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if I do, I'll quickly recognize that and get you back on the dance floor with something that I know will bring you back.
Right.
I kind of hate when people come up and kind of interrupt that vibe with requests. Oh, you know what I mean?
Listen, I got a whole segment just on that.
Yeah, man. And I know that's like a whole show, right?
But we'll talk about it because we love you, and when I say you, I'm talking about the audience.
Right.
We love you. We want you involved, but not that damn involved. But no, but seriously, but continue your thought.
Let me clear that up now. Mm-hmm. Requests are okay. But I find that when people start juicing, man, they start drinking, they get real aggressive with these requests. And it's like, play this, play that. What are you playing right now? I don't like that. Play this. And I'm like, all right, I'm cool about it. I'm still laid back. I'm not going to like send you up because I know some DJs that'll straight give you the mean mug and be like, and send you on your way.
Exactly.
I won't do that. But I'm in my head like, really? And then, but I learned to make it work for me. So now when people come up to me and if they're aggressive with it, I'm like, all right, give me a song. Give me a specific song. Don't just say play, house music. Play some house.
Right.
I'm like, all right, give me a house song. And once you give me a house song, if I think it's something that'll work, there it is. We can run with it. And I'll piggyback off that house song and give you 5 more that you might like or may not even have ever heard before that you dig or whatever. And but that's a pet peeve of mine, though, when people come up with the demands, you know what I mean? It's like, come on, let me do my job. I'm here to create a soundtrack for you.
Yes.
Let me do this.
So it's not just me. It's not just me. Of course not. It's not just me having a mini stroke. And J Ray has been there with me behind the booth, and he's witnessed me having these mini strokes, like when somebody comes in and just asks for the most outlandish things, because you're absolutely correct. Energy, we're crowd readers, we're energy readers, and we're trying to take you one way, we're trying to take you up. And if somebody can come along and just ask them for the most random thing, and we're put in a predicament where we have to be professional and offer you customer service,
right? And
then at the same time, we're also having to be professional and worry about our craft and not have the rest of the crowd looking at us crazy.
Right.
Because you've made this request, and then when it drops, the whole crowd, the floor completely empties out, and you're nowhere to be seen because you've made your request and you did.
And you did.
And then, and then not for nothing, you don't even leave a tip. Come on, guys. Come on. Sometimes we have tip jars and,
Oh, how about this one? I've gotten a request from people that have just stepped into the party and asked me to play a song that just went off like 2 minutes ago that I just played.
Without fail.
And I say, well, I just played that like 2 minutes ago. Well, play it again. I wasn't here for that.
Without fail. Because
really?
And let me take this a step further. So let me ask you this. We're in and I know I hate when people, blame everything on social media, and I'm not Joe Budden, and audience, you're not Lil Yachty. I'm not here to blame millennials about their behavior and everything. But is there something going on cosmically on a mental level with all of us to where we can come into a space that's occupied by all types of people, especially to party, and we automatically think that everything is all about us, to where we can approach you and say, well, I wasn't here, play it again.
Definitely something in the environment, bro. Definitely. and it may have something to do with the fact that everything is so accessible. It's like even when you get into the party, you feel like you have access to the DJ's, music, to his catalog. It's like, all right, I don't like the song he's playing right now. He needs to change that up and play Future or something. And when I'm over here playing like house music or something, I'm like, all right, Okay, how do I handle this? But I remain professional.
Transition?
I remain professional.
Yeah. It's like, how do I make this transition and make it make sense?
Right.
The answer is you can't.
Sometimes you can't.
Sometimes you cannot. It requires a complete dead stop.
Okay, even if it's something good that I'm like, oh yeah, I like that request. Mm-hmm. Give me a few minutes. Let me work it in. You know what I mean? I can't just cold, make a hard stop. Boom, drop that song and throw on this song, which is a totally different tempo. You know what I mean? That doesn't work. That's not going to fly. There's a flow to it. I think some people don't realize that it's an art to it. You know what I mean?
Yes,
it's definitely an art to DJing and mixing. If you're really true to it and you're about it and you're really skilled at it, you won't allow just some random person to come up and throw your set off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've learned over the years how to handle those situations. It's still a pain in the ass, but
yeah. I take the deepest breath and I flash a smile and say, huh? Sometimes I'll try and act like I didn't hear. What? Oh, okay. Or even better, there was a bar, Bulldogs that I've spun at. Luckily, somebody left a notepad in the DJ booth. And it's set up like an old school DJ booth where there's a door at the bottom and then there's steps and that you have to come up to the table. So the door is locked, but it's a double door where the top unfolds and the bottom stays stopped. So people push their head in there and they'll yank. They do the most disrespectful yanking on your shorts or your pants and to get your attention. And finally, luckily, somebody left a notepad in there. I pulled out a pen. I put out my finger like, hold on, gave them the notepad and a pen. Here, write it. And just leave it there, and I'll come to it. And if it's something I'm going to play or want to play, I'll play it. And trust me, guys, it's not that we're being selfish. Well, we're just a little selfish. But like Deliver said, there is an art to this. There's an art to this craft. And when we come back after this next break, I'm going to ask him about that lack of respect, because there's a lack of respect going on, guys.
Yeah.
Let's just be real about it. And the DJs right now are probably like, hell yeah, tell them about it. And that's fine. That's fine. Email
DJ Life.
You know what I'm saying? That's my favorite hashtag.
Hashtag DJ
Life. So if you email us at shuffleandrepeatthepodcast@gmail.com, and with your questions or things that you want to talk about regarding this topic of DJing, and we'll definitely touch it. But yes, let's talk about respect and where is this lack of trust, guys? Trust the damn DJ.
Trust the damn DJ,
Trust me now. Listen, we'll be right back after this break. It's DJ Sir Daniel. I got DJ Deliver in the hot seat. This is Shuffle and Repeat, the podcast. This is DJ Sir Daniel, and you are listening to the best damn podcast ever. That's right, Shuffle and Repeat, the podcast. And hey, business owners, advertisers, wouldn't you like to be a part of the show? You can. All you need to do is email me at shuffleandrepeatpodcast@gmail.com. That's shuffleandrepeatpodcast@gmail.com, and we can discuss how you can have your very own custom-made commercial spot read by yours truly, DJ Sir Daniel. Come on, make that move. And we're back at Shuffle and Repeat, the podcast. I am DJ Sir Daniel. My special guest is DJ Deliver. Thank you once again for being here for this very first episode of this podcast. And thank you again to DJ Deliver for being my guest. So during the short break that we took, I was saying, it's popping. It's popping. It's popping. And it made me think it made me think of Lil Mama and how I just want Lil Mama to win so bad, but she keeps doing these really foolish social media things. Her and Bow Wow. It's like all the littles are doing really ridiculous things in social media right now because, guys, this Bow Wow challenge is killing me on social media. You guys have me underneath the table laughing at these memes that you guys are coming up with. But I digress. So I'm talking to DJ Deliver, talking about respect. as it pertains to DJs and the lack thereof, for the craft of DJing, because it's a lack of from the promoters, the party goers. When we're talking about levels to it, man. We're talking about payment, and that can go. And I'm not even. I don't really want to go into that because
he said payments.
It's Can you do this for the? I'm not. No. I don't want to go over in that, because then I don't want this to turn into just they just want to sit up there and bitch about what they do, and that's not the case. But as far as here's my philosophy and how I look at it. The party is shuffle and repeat. The party. I look at myself as a historian, a music historian.
I've seen your gram, bro.
Thank you. And I'm a Gen Xer, okay? I'm putting my age out there.
Me too.
We're Gen Xers. And not for nothing, I want to make sure that a lot of the artists and the music that we grew up with and that really shaped the culture, and when I say the culture, I mean hip hop, which is really just a broad is the takeover culture for everything right now, and the launch pad for everything else.
Yep.
We kind of shaped that, guys. Let's be clear.
That ain't a secret.
It's not a secret. We be clear about that we did shape this. But I am here for the kids to pick up the mantle, and I want the kids to pick up the mantle and actually make good music. What I'm hearing. And I'm not knocking, again, no button here. I'm not knocking you yachties out there. There's an energy that I'm not feeling. I'm not feeling any energy. Every now and then, like a Migos song, they're energetic. They can be energetic. Okay, so I can understand why those songs are popular. But I don't know if there's a lot. Remember back in the day, a lot of the songs were Say No to Drugs, Just Crack is Whack.
Yeah.
And then we kind of moved into the hustler era where we was slanging packs and everybody was dealing on wax. Now everybody's kind of like on this lean. Everybody's a drug addict now. Not everybody. I won't say everybody's a drug addict, but there's this like drug culture, and the only thing about certain drugs is that they slow you down, and so I guess the music is following that pattern.
Yeah.
And so when you got people in art, I wonder do you think your age kind of plays into that lack of respect, or when it comes to party goers?
Definitely, man. If you're 40 years old or whatever, trying to understand a crowd of 22-year-olds, it's not gonna happen. Right. It's not gonna happen.
Just be clear, yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely something going on in the music. I said that to myself, and I love all of it. Yeah. I love all the ratchet shit. I love the Kendricks, the Migos, from J. Cole to going back to LL Cool J or something. I love all of it. And what I figured out from DJing so long and how to deliver that message or those songs that we kind of came up to that kind of balance this whole thing out, I figured out how to sandwich, and that's the term I use for my DJ sets, how to sandwich these sets and make it easy for the crowd to digest, even if it's a bunch of 22-year-olds or even, it doesn't matter the age. I figured out how to sandwich it. So I know if I'm playing to a crowd of kids that want to hear trap all night, I'm like, all right, I'll give you the trap all night. I'll give you all this ratchet shit you want if I'm in that type of venue, you know what I mean? Right. In between that, though, I'm going to give you something that I think you need. Whether that be a Marvin Gaye record, whether that be anything with a message or something that I feel is really good music that needs to be heard and needs to be kept alive. You know what I mean? Now, are you going to do? Is this a flip that you've created? And when I say a flip, like a remix, like you've a blend where you've taken like a Marvin and put it to a trap beat so that they can digest it. Sometimes you have to do it that way. Okay. Homie of mine play that move, Precise. Shout out to DJ Precise. He came in a few weeks ago, did a set, ended the night, ended it with a scratch session. And you know, scratch sessions in the middle of a party is like, that's not going to fly, right? But the way he did it, he had a trap remix playing of Rick James, Give It To Me Baby. That was just so banging. Word. And he was killing his scratches over that. Had the young kids in there just like with their mouth wide open.
Shout out to DJ Precise.
Shout out to DJ Precise
from
Scratch Academy. Yes.
Who was one of my instructors. So shout out to Precise.
Is a beast.
Yes, most definitely.
Shout out to you, bro.
If I can get my scratches like that.
Yes. So there's a way you can package it and sandwich it and feed it. You know what I mean?
I will be making sandwiches a lot more often now.
Yeah, man. You can't. One thing I've learned is you can't force feed kids.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? You can't do it, man. They're not gonna be receptive.
Yeah, that's a very valid point because you're absolutely correct. You cannot force feed them. And speaking of kids, speaking of the gram and speaking of kids, you got very adorable kids, man. And I saw one day you had a picture of your son on your equipment. Are you making a conscious decision to like pass on the craft to him or
nope?
No. Okay.
He wants to be there. That's where he wants to be. I'm letting him steer his own shit, bro.
Got it. Are you
listen? This guy loves to go on Sundays or weekend, doesn't matter what day, but he's like, Dad, I want to go to the music store today. And that music store being Sam Ash, because he came with me a few times to, get some stuff that I needed, supplies or whatever. And he runs through the store just touching everything.
Wow.
So he gets a kick out of just going to the store, playing with the instruments, playing with the turntables, guitars, whatever, percussion, doesn't matter what it is. He has music in his blood. So I don't have to really force anything, man. I just want to see where he goes with it. Whether it be beautiful. DJing or playing an instrument or dance or whatever.
And I'm sure you're because you got such a broad taste of music, I'm sure his taste levels are like right up there with you.
That kid is amazing, man. When he came home from school for the first time talking about Michael Jackson, I was tripping.
Wow.
Stop the press. What do you know? And he's like naming songs, not just I know Michael Jackson, but he's like, do you know Beat It? Do you know Billie Jean? Do you know this? Do you know that? Smooth Criminal? And I'm like, where are you getting this from? And then I found out it was one of his teachers at school bringing Michael Jackson in, YouTube videos. She has the kids dancing. So I was like, kudos to her, man. Kudos to her.
Because it's deeper than just us playing the records, guys. We really are the bearers of the culture, man.
Yeah, man.
Really, there's a history that, not for nothing, people are trying to erase. And I know you play a lot of house music in your sets, and I appreciate that. And you play actual house music because I'm sorry, I'm just not a big fan of what J. Ray calls the drunken whirly bird songs that whoop, whoop,
I play, and that's funny because I play all of that, man. Like I said, it's all about looking at that room.
Your audience, you're absolutely right.
A young lady was at Move the other night, and she said to me, she was saying it to DJ Calissimo, who was on the set first. She was like, play some house. And I heard her. And I was like, well, you got to be, clear and specific on when you say play some house, because there are so many subgenres of house. So if he gets on here and starts to play like Black Coffee and the deep soulful house stuff, and you want to hear like Disclosure or something loud like a G house, future bass house, okay, you're gonna be mad, or vice versa. You know what I mean? You might want a certain type of house. You got to be specific. You can't just say I want to hear house music.
Be ye specific, guys. That's what you need to come away with. It's like we're not gonna ask you to be musical experts. I know that's what we're here for. And yes, we're here for that. So trust us. We got you.
Shout out to her too, because after I told her that, she totally got it. She was like, oh, I never thought about it like that. I get it. And I was like, cool. Somebody buy this lady a drink, please.
See, not only do we keep your feet moving, we're also teachers.
That's right.
We're also teachers in this culture. So big up to DJ Deliver. Listen, and when we come back, I'm going to ask him about what his dream gig would be.
Ooh.
Think about that, Deliver. Set the scene in your head. Where is this taking place? All right, think about that. We're going to be back after this short break. It's Shuffle and Repeat, the podcast. I'm DJ Sir Daniel. My special guest, DJ Deliver, is in the building. It's Shuffle and Repeat, the podcast. Hey, you enjoying the show? I know you are. This is DJ Sir Daniel, and I want to talk to my small business owners and even my big business owners. You want a custom-made commercial spot read on the Shuffle and Repeat podcast? Yeah, you do. All you need to do is just email me at shuffleandrepeatpodcast@gmail.com. That's shuffleandrepeatpodcast@gmail.com. We can work this out, and you can get your very own custom-made commercial spot read live on the air by yours truly, DJ Sir Daniel. It's as easy as emailing me at shuffleandrepeatpodcast@gmail.com. And now, guess what? Back to the show. Thank you for tuning in, Shuffle and Repeat the podcast. I am DJ Sir Daniel. Before we left, I'm in my head. I've got my turntable set up like somewhere. In the background, there's palm trees. There's a pool or cabana kind of setting. I'm able to play just whatever the hell I want to, and people are thoroughly enjoying themselves. That is my dream gig. A residency at a hotel or a bar somewhere where people, they really just are about the music and just coming to chill. And there just happens to be a tropical backdrop. Just so happens to be a tropical backdrop. There's water, all that good stuff. DJ Deliver, what is your dream gig?
Speaking of gigs that, the gigs that you just mentioned where you're able to play whatever the hell you want, man. Uh-huh. I feel like I kind of did that with the Move Party, for instance.
Yes.
Which it wasn't created by just me alone, by the way. I got to send a shout out to the guys that started it with me in 2013. Xavier Black, Jeremy Avalon, Divine Interface, DJ Word Life, who goes by Cut Daily right now. Us 5 guys, man, we started that event so we could play what we want to play. Yes. And Mother, the guys at Mother allowed us to do that. They're not in our ear telling us what to play like some bars do or some promoters do.
Right.
So I think I did create one event that allows me to do that. Now, my ideal situation on a bigger stage,
go big.
Would be,
it's a dream. Go big.
I'd like to actually create my own festival. You know what I mean? I have this on my vision board that the DJ Deliver will be creating his own. I don't know what year, but it's going to happen. I will have my own festival curated by me, DJ selected by me, acts selected by me, artists selected by me, but I want to bring that same philosophy to the big stage. I want the crowd to just enjoy whatever the hell whoever's playing, whatever they're playing, enjoy it. I hope that you would trust, you know what I mean, that I will not bring you some bullshit.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you come to the party. Come on, leave it in our hands. But my ideal gig is to create a big my version of an EDC, an Ultra, or a Coachella, big festival. But 2-3 days, Shaky Beats, which was just here this past weekend in Atlanta.
But you will have plenty of outhouses for the people because
Nah, I'm thinking maybe one or two. One or two. I'm thinking we'll go Woodstock style.
What was there was that
just anyway.
There was that festival that was here. It was an EDM festival and people got stranded. It was so crazy, man.
That was
Dream
tomorrow.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Deliver's not going to do that to you. Deliver's going to, he's got you. It's going to be places where you can get to your car and you can get your transportation. You won't have to wait.
It's going to happen.
It's gonna happen.
I don't know when, but it's gonna happen within the next, I probably say 4 or 5 years. Definitely.
Hey, I'll be waiting.
That's
I will be there waiting. A lot of planning. And it's so funny you brought up Work Crew earlier in the show. We were discussing the different age groups and what appeals to different age groups, and whether or not they're into the culture and actually come out to party. You mentioned the Work Crew. The Work Crew, I had the pleasure of going to their, I think, one of their groove parties. And J-Ray said it best. He told me, he was like, listen, people always talking about young people don't party and they don't dance. Not true. They actually, when given the material and given the music, they will party. They want it. And I am so encouraged by that, by those parties and that atmosphere, that yes, indeed, this culture will still has some place to go, and the people will appreciate it. And I'm super, super happy about that.
It goes back to what I said about sandwiching it.
Yes.
How you package it, man. They do an exceptional job at packaging and sandwiching music.
Mm-hmm.
When I first met Xavier, I actually met Xavier and Jeremy the same night doing an all vinyl everything party. Shout out to Sean Fallion and DiBiase.
Right.
But Jeremy played an all Minneapolis set, and I'm talking Prince,
Jimmy Jam,
Terry Lewis, Vanity, everything. The Time, killed it.
Sheena Easton was up in there.
Listen,
all of it.
And Jeremy is about, at the time, I don't know how old he was, but he was 20 something. I don't know.
Wow.
Early 20s or something like that. I don't know. But I was just blown away that this young guy knew this music like he did. He was so knowledgeable with it. I was like, yo, this dude is dope, man. So then we got cool after that. Then I went to a party that Xavier was doing on Edgewood called Shade. And I was just tripping at the fact that all these like young kids were in there and they were vibing to, like, Xavier was playing stuff, whether he was going back into stuff from like the 90s or even 80s, coming back, bringing it back up to speed to the current stuff. But the way he did it, it was easy for them to digest. They couldn't front on it. It was just, It was fly. I was just like, I like these guys. And from that point on, I started, he invited me to do a Shade party. Mm-hmm. I was like, I have to play this party. I was like, I like the fact that these kids are, they're open to hearing, A Tribe Called Quest or whatever, and you can still play the new stuff. You know what I mean?
So that brings it back to us. As the elders, or we are now called, it's up to us to maintain and pass it on to the younger generation. Definitely. All of these jewels that have been left for us music wise. So it is up to us. And I think, a lot of times we complain, y'all don't know what good music is. Well, we got to play it. We still got to go out there and play it for the kids.
I never complain, man. I've heard a quote from somebody that said, be the change that you want to see. So if I see something that I don't really agree with or I think needs to be changed, I'll change it. You know what I mean? Right. Even if it's going against the grain, which I do a lot of going against the grain.
Absolutely. And so listen, so we're about to wrap up the show in a little bit. So I want to do a quick rapid fire with Deliver. I got some real quick to just keep you on your toes, and you just come up with the first thing that comes to your head. It's not that deep, but we're gonna have some fun with this. All right, first one. Favorite show to binge watch?
Oh, Star Trek, the old ones from the 60s.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a Trekkie.
You're a Trekkie. What's your favorite episode?
The one when he fought the lizard. The lizard monster. Do you remember that episode?
With all the fake rocks and
they put him and the lizard on the planet and they had to fight it out to the death.
Wow. Okay. So Deliver is a Trekkie. All right, we keep that in mind. Favorite post-gig meal?
Ooh. That's tough because a lot of shit is closed.
Exactly.
But if I can get something, I will go to Fellini's on Ponce, of course.
Okay.
Pizza, they stay open late. Mm-hmm. I think I would have to end it there, man. Other than that, it'd just be some trash, man.
Yeah, because that's what a lot of DJs, we really gotta watch our waistlines. Yeah, it gets major out there. And,
nasty.
Yeah, but there's not a whole lot to
Fellini's, what up?
Fellini's is definitely the move. All right, the song you absolutely hate, but you must play.
Oh my God, that's hard, man. The song that I hate, but I must play. Oh my God, let's come back to that one. I gotta think about that.
Okay, all right. So, best remix. I'm gonna give you two choices: Leaders of the New School, What's the Scenario, or Brandy's I Want to Be Down.
Oh, I thought you was gonna tell me to name one, but
best remix.
You made it easy for me
two, yeah.
Because that Scenario remix. Oh my God. Goes so hard.
It goes real hard.
Yes.
And that was back. Here I go sounding like an old man again, but that was back when remixes were actual remixes and not just throwing a rapper on the instrumental and calling it a remix. But, go ahead. I digress.
I got the song to the other question, too. It just hit me.
Okay. All right,
and it's not that I hate it. I'm just tired of it. Frankie Beverly and Maze, Before I Let Go. I am tired of that song.
You are about to be boycotted by every black person across the country.
I love the record. Let's be clear.
Nations.
I love the record, but I'm a DJ anthem. And I hear that record all the time. It's like, oh, not again.
Yeah, you hear those congos in the background. You're like, oh,
here we go. I'm like, here we go.
Here we go again.
But like you said, that's the anthem. That's definitely the black folk anthem. I love the record. Shout out to Frankie Beverly and them. I don't hate the record. I'm just tired of it.
Without that record, we wouldn't know that we've come to the end of a Tyler Perry movie.
Right?
That's the end. That's the end all of all black records. But can I tell you mine real quick?
Go ahead.
Oh,
and see, no,
and it's like
you're just as bad as me, man.
I can live 1,000 lifetimes without ever hearing that song again.
That is the anthem, bro. But I feel you. I totally feel you.
And it's such a cheap and easy move. It's like if you see people dwindling, and it's like, okay, I gotta get them hyped up. Let me just. And they lose their shit every single time.
I played that one night at a party, and this girl felt like you. She came up and was like, why did you play that? She was like, why did you play that? Of all the songs that you could have played, you played that. I wanted to say, listen, that was my easy way out because I didn't know what I was going to play next. But I was like, look at the people. They're loving it. You're the only one in here hating on this record.
Mm-hmm. I think somebody did like one of those BuzzFeed or someone like one of those online op-eds did a blog about top 5 black songs that don't ever need to be played in a party. And every song that we just mentioned was within that list, including Poison by BBD, which is...
Listen,
I can live with Poison.
I can do Poison. We beat that record to death. We beat it down, but that record never gets old for some reason.
It does not, and it does not. And what we do... So wait, just so I make sure I did get your answer... You picked What's the Scenario by Leaders of the New School as your favorite remix, right?
Yes, that remix is hard.
Gotcha. Listen, we are about to wrap it up. This has been a real pleasure to have you here, DJ Deliver. This has been in a long time.
I'm almost mad that it's over so fast.
It was like, fun, right?
I thought we were going to have some more time to really get deep.
Listen, we can do a part 2 anytime, like especially when you got your festival is coming up.
Oh, yeah, man.
Matter of fact, I'm claiming it now. I need a all access pass so I can set up there and do a live broadcast from the festival.
Hey, you're gonna be playing the festival, man. What are you
I like
about?
that even better. I received that. Please tell everybody how they can find you, when the move parties are, and anything you have coming up soon.
Okay. Anywhere on social media at DJ Deliver, just like the mail. Real simple. Mm-hmm. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Everything, djdeliver.com. I have a party that I do regularly called the Move Party. Follow that at Move Party ATL. I bring in all of Atlanta's dopest DJs to play. That party goes down on Saturday afternoons at 5 p.m. at Mother on Edgewood Avenue, 447 Edgewood Avenue. But that party will be moving to Wednesday nights as of 2 weeks from now, I believe, May 20-something, whatever that is. But we only got 2 more Saturdays to go at Mother for the move party, and then we're going back to Wednesday, which we started on Wednesday back in 2013. So we're going back home pretty much.
Word.
So, other than that, you can catch me anywhere in the city because I'm everywhere. I play everywhere, and just follow the social media.
Listen, a DJ that is constantly gigging is a happy DJ.
Happy DJ, that's right.
And I'm trying to get there. I'm going to get there one day. I'm going to be a happy DJ too. Absolutely. Listen, guys, I want to thank you so much for listening, for tuning into the very first episode of Shuffle and Repeat, the podcast. Again, I want all your questions or comments, or anybody in the city you want somebody to come by and be on the show. Email me at shuffle and spell out and repeat podcast at gmail.com. That's shuffle and repeat podcast at gmail.com. I'm your host, DJ Sir Daniel. That's my social media handle. So if you want to find me, you can find me that way as well. You keep it locked. Subscribe to whatever platforms I'm putting this on. This is probably going to be on, we're definitely going to be on SoundCloud, iTunes, all those different mediums. Please subscribe so that you can always be in the know and ready for a new episode of Shuffle and Repeat, the podcast. It's DJ Sir Daniel, and we out.